So you might not be able to see that in the window, but that actually says, what does it say here? It says $763.91. So I'm up. I started about 550. I don't know, like just a few weeks ago after taking a long break. So and it tells me right now that this is over the last week, I guess probably. I've got 102 102.82 in rake back. So let's do that. Let's collect that 102.82. Kaboom. And I just pumped myself back up to got some of the rake back and $866. So there we go. That is kind of cool. All right. And I don't know. It says I'm an octopus. I'm probably going to lose my octopi status just because of the fact that, what do we got here? Let's hop into let's hop into $100 table here with a bunch of regs. What do we get? Boom, there we go. Got to enlarge this table here, and we should be good. All right. So, complete transparency. Um, Someone was asking me a question recently, and it had to do with what kind of stakes I'm playing, and basically saying, indicating that because I'm not showing because I'm not showing the dollar amounts here, right? It means that I'm playing either micro stakes or what they call low stakes. I don't know what's 100 NL. Is that considered low stakes, medium stakes? I don't know what this is called. Maybe it's considered medium stakes, but I mean, yeah, it's 100 NL, right? You can even just tell. All you got to do is take a look at the top corner. Even though I have big blinds listed, all you got to do is take a look at the top corner. It's 50 $1 a game. So I mean, it is $100 game, and no, that's cool. Um, you asked the question, and I do appreciate the question being asked. So um, that's awesome. All right. Any question? There is no question that is off limits. Doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to answer every question, but it does mean that you can ask anything you want, and I won't be offended. Put it that way. Just listening to some chill lo-fi beats on a Monday morning. That's Sid the Nitty Kid. Yeah, her stats 22, 17, pretty standard. 3-bet 19. Yeah, probably similar to mine, actually. Let's tag him as a reg, just right off the hopster. Just for the hell of it. Because I'm playing one table, it'll probably take me a little bit to get rolling. There we go. So I showed you essentially how it works, the levels and all that kind of stuff. I mean, to build up 3 million points, let's see here. So if I'm going to build up 3 million points, if I'm an occupied, just to maintain my rank, I need 1.5 million. Well, I took more than half the year off, but that's a decent amount of playing, right? That's like a full-time job. So, I mean, I don't think I'm going to be keeping my rank. I'm pretty darn sure. So, oh, it's 1 year, so a 205. So, yeah, there's not going to happen. No, so as of right now, I got a 50% rate back. That was like a promo when I joined. But it's very likely that that will be gone. Then I'll have a smaller rate back. And what's the rate back here structure? Probably going to be, oh, the ranks. I might be a shrimp. Might end up being a shrimp. Hopefully I'm not a goldfish, but a shrimp, something like that. Yeah, it's the way it is. That's the way it is. That's life, right? I probably don't play enough. Um, and I think it can be something to aspire to. It was kind of cool. I think I played for the last week and ended up getting $100, which is one buy-in, right? So that's one buy-in and breakback, right? So it's more true. You can navigate poker a little bit better when you do get, if you're getting a rake back, it's going to cut it from, let's say, um, 5% to 5% to, let's say, 2.5% rate. You get some rough math here. So, if that's the case, then that's, I mean, 2.5% better than five. That's for darn sure, right? So it would make sense. You got to play a lot of hands, though. You have to play a heck of a lot of hands to get that rate back, especially with what I'm playing. I'm playing 100 NL and 100 NL, and you can play hour after hour after hour, but you've got a multi-table. If I was multi-tabling, I would probably, maybe I'd do four times as many hands in the same amount of time. I definitely make more mistakes, and so my results wouldn't be the same. At the same time, I would be making more money. So let's say I have four buy-ins. So maybe it does make more sense. I don't necessarily want to. Um, yeah, I don't want to make this that where my entire goal in life is going to make a little bit of, make some rake back. Play poker to make rake back. I mean, sure, I guess some people might like that as a job. Um, I guess it beats a lot of different jobs, right? But I mean, just keep going and going and going and going and going. I mean, I don't know. I'd rather take a little bit of time, think about the hands, figure things out. There's a bunch of times here where I timed out. I mean, I had top two, ace, queen on the board, and I'm trying to figure out whether I should check raise. No, yeah, check raise because he bet into me, and I think I might have checked, and I got bet into, and I was thinking about whether I was going to either just call or check or call or raise, and I ended up folding top two because I was thinking too long. So hey, say la vie. That's just what it is, right? There's a super plus EV decision right there. Yeah, one of the funny things about poker is as well is you do have all this internal terminology, right? When you're talking about EV, you're talking about this, you're talking about that. I mean, and yeah, okay, but it's good to have that terminology, to understand that terminology. That's great. At the same time, Queen Jack here. I don't know, let's go in. It's in the hijack. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's good. All right. So what do we do? Depending on the board. Oh man, we got the whole everyone coming in for If I'm going to bet here, if I'm going to bet here with overpair, I'm betting, but probably with that many people, I'm probably only going to be betting less than half the time. This is 91, so we're going to go, yeah, just bet that for the heck of it. We're definitely not going to get, we're going to get most people not coming for the ride. And good chance there's a pocket pair somewhere here that will fold. So we've got eight. So I've got a gutter and eight. Does eight help? It's not an overcard, so probably bet again. Let me bet again. 22. Yeah, let's go. Let's bet again. Yeah. So he just min popped me. Let's see, it's kind of close because if I hit here, good chance he's got a 10. He's min popping me with. So if I do hit the 9, 1 into 58, so it's 12 into 58, then I've got some implied odds. I can probably call this. Let me just see. 50-50. Call. Yeah, let's call. And is he going to bet here? Yeah, I gotta give that up. Probably should have. Uh, there was some implied odds there that made it a little bit closer. I probably only had, and even after hitting the queen, I mean, so my betting pattern pushed him towards a 10. There's my danger right there. And so, especially with so many other players, right? I mean, he's going to play very close to the best. I wouldn't be surprised if he had a 10 there. So call. Oh no, he min raised. Um, so yeah, I mean, I already knew what I was going to do if I hit the queen. We'd check the queen, right? Top pair. I guess he could be doing that with um his call range. He's got a good amount of tens, right? So even though there's two tens out of the deck, um, he's got some eights too. So what else is in there? Let's see. Yeah, so he's got fives there. He definitely has five. He definitely have eights. He definitely has some tens in his range, so that's all there. So I could have lost to houses right there. So boats. So my two pairs wasn't good enough. Two pair is essentially a bluff catcher there, and the way he was playing, no. But I say Louis, right? Calling that min raise, yeah, 12 into 56. I mean, so right away, obviously the pot odds aren't there, but implied odds. If the nine comes, then generally likely I'm going to stack them, but I mean, it could run into a full house. So if I think this through, there are some reverse implied odds that make it a lot closer. Um, maybe not a call then. Maybe not a call. Maybe I should have just given it up right there. Yeah. Okay. Should be a good house, good hand to run through um, the sim. But what I want to do is I want to provide some good content, not just by making dumb plays and just seeing what they have and all that kind of stuff, but some content that shows a thought process. Right? So you've got some sort of a thought process here, and also figuring out whether your thought process is flawed, because you're always, you know, sharpening, trying to sharpen the sword as much as you can. So leaving your brain flexible to new ideas and that kind of stuff. Um, and not being just so rigid in your thought process. Okay, someone told me this, so I'm looking for this. And whenever I see that, I'm going to do that all of the time. Um, that rigid thought process may work some of the time, and that can actually reinforce, right? Good example is this, the range betting epidemic. I mean, I'm sure range betting works a lot, probably works a lot at 10 NL. Um, I mean, you're just betting, 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 betting. And so would a flush be bet here? Yes. Probably wouldn't be taken to the river. But then again, I mean, some people that just, I have hand, I bet. So this is versus hijack. Where am I? Yeah, Queen Jack. I'm just seeing if I should raise here. No. That's probably he's got the overs. Just see what happens here. Small percentage of the time. The relatively small bets. So if he's betting, yeah. Okay, so I could bluff at this. Let's just see. Now I'm probably going to be over bluffing here, but I am going to bluff at this. Let's bluff this. I mean, there's just so much pressure now with a queen jack. Uh, should I bet that? I guess I'm allowed to bet that. I mean, that's just it's such a good board for my range. So really, I call it played the board there. And now I interfered with some of his overs, right? So, but I mean, he's got a lot in his, even an overpair is under pressure there. So you start to make an indifference point. You make an indifference and inflection point at some point in time, right? With that, I mean, how often am I going to get away with that bluff? That's the thing that I'm thinking about. So I mean, this guy is in the big blind, so this guy right here, I mean, he needs to he just needs to be cautious with his bluffing, right? In the hijack with these low boards because they can be super over bluffed. So if he has any equity at all, so he overbets. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Right? I mean, that is classic. That's a classic right there. Classic strategy. Where I mean, you've got such a low board that I mean, how does that interact with your range? I mean, someone does that. I mean, you could start to sniff these things out. If he has a pair, any sort of bluff catcher, I mean, you're going to pick that off a lot. You're going to be able to pick that off a lot. I mean, yeah, just sussing these things out. Again, another low board, right? So we've got the blinds here, which are generally going to interact with this better. This guy's under the gun. He's betting. Okay. Now he could have an overpair, no question. But I mean, this guy should probably be aggressive on this board. Yeah. Yeah. Or let him be aggressive and then raise him. But yeah, that's sort of classic mentality right there. I mean, so what did this other dude have? Oh, there's a king jack. Oh no. Well, he just showed. Okay, now they didn't even show down. He folded. So, okay, yeah. So he just basically this guy right here, this London Fisher, and again, I don't. God bless him because, um, just he's a poker player, right? So everyone here I have total respect for. However, um, point something up when you have a low board. How much how much air does he have on that board? I mean, he's got a lot of air on that board. And he's just like, you know what? It works every single time. All I got to do is overbet, because nobody ever bluffs overbet, quote unquote, overbet bluffs. And so I found kind of my secret sauce. What am I in there? So I found my secret sauce, and that works so often that nobody's ever going to call me down. Well, well, it's very, very easy to overbluff there. What have we got here? We've got that. We've got that. What the hell am I? Yeah, what do I do with tens here? Probably tens. I probably just call, right? Because I'm in position. I got position here. So, hmm, gotta just give up tens here. Small bet. His raising range. Yeah. I mean, that smacked his raising range. He's got ace, king, queen, ace, jack. Um, really puts tens in a not a great position. I could have taken one bullet there and then just reassessed, maybe pick up some equity with the with the flush, and maybe even pick up some additional equity if a queen comes, for example, or a king. Think of that. It starts to get thin though. It really starts to get thin. And what is this guy? This guy's the hijack. Where am I? No, I don't think I'm gonna go there. Yeah, that hand was an excellent example of being able to pick off someone who lost too much. Didn't happen to me, but it was a great example here. So I'm always as well just trying new things out. And what happens a lot in poker is that if you try something new out, um, not try it out, but if you see scenarios and you go, oh, you know, I should do this, I should do that, and it works once or twice, and you have a tendency to want to do it more often. And the only issue with that is that you start doing it too often, and you gotta sort of find your center somewhere because people start recognizing things. Um, and experienced players will pick up the good players will pick up on these things fast, and they'll either pick you off or they'll raise you or they'll just find common spots. That's a common spot. Okay, this is what they're doing. Boom, right? So yeah, that is it's just something to be aware of, and you can be exploitative, but also start calibrating where you need to balance things out. You could just go, you know, you just go rampage if you want. But if you go rampage, that may work until then all of a sudden you get burned. Someone with a good hand or somebody who starts figuring out what you're doing. So don't think. Uh, hmm. Okay, Ravina. Phrase here. Yeah, let's just put a phrase. Everybody just gonna call here. So I titled this stream Early Morning Fishing, but maybe I'm the early morning catch for people. It's quite possible. One of the biggest flaws in poker is just being delusional about how good you are or where you are, reasons why you're playing, getting into the gambling mentality. A lot of people can get into that kind of stuff. Um, I mean, I'm not what you'd call an amazing poker player. Uh, that being said, I understand some concepts and I'm still learning. You're always still learning the game. If you're not learning the game, then what are you doing, right? You're not always kind of like your brain stimulated and stuff. Yeah. Okay, so he's a short stack. What happens when this guy pops? I'm effectively in the cutoff here. Uh, this guy pops. I likes to call it, doesn't he? Okay, so I could bet that's a pretty high frequency against two people. I may want to. Let's just check. Let's just check. See what happens here. Okay. A little bit more free reign on that brick. Three-way. Probably good. Just to go small. Delayed C-bet. This guy calls. What is he calling me with? He'll come with 7, he'll come with 4. This is another brick. That means he probably preserves his. Eh, really high up here. Yeah. Mm, is there a bunch of draws out there? Not really. Not really. Probably should have bluffed that. I was so high up though. Uh, yeah. What am I got here? This guy is the. Where am I? I'm a big blind, right? Which is the call. This is like right on. So check. Is this guy just gonna get frisky here? He called. What's my equity of ace high? Uh, and he called that. Doesn't even matter what the card was. And again, um that's another hand that may or may not necessarily be he's probably playing it pretty close to the best if we've got two other players behind. So like with a pocket pair or something. They check down a queen. I guess possible that he could have checked down a queen. What do we got here? I guess he could have some kind of random 4 in his range. Might not necessarily bet that. Um, yeah, could have a queen X. Possibilities. Everything is a realm and a range of possibilities. If you ever think, or if you ever are, um, if you are ever either in a card room or any situation, playing a home game and where you play poker with other people and they say, I put you on kings, I put you on a flush, I put you on a flush draw, I put you on this, I put you on that. You kind of know that they're full of shit. Why? You know why? Because I mean, there's such a range of hands that people have. I mean, what's this? I put you on stuff, right? I mean, there's no one is a. Let's see here if I can put another table. Yeah, let me just go here. Mm, check checks here. Let's go for a big bluff here. All right, we'll take a little break. Table done. Yeah, it was kind of fun. Just a